Morning crew, welcome back to the Andy Mechanic YouTube channel, and I promised you this follow-up video. The previous video went out a couple of weeks ago regarding adjusting the brakes on an IFA Williams trailer, commercial spec trailer, light duty obviously. Was it LT105G was the one that we worked on? That's my little trailer. I've got a big one as well, which is nearly 6 meters long and triaxle and stuff. Very cool trailers, had lots of them in the UK as well, and they've done me proud for decades, to be honest. This little one that we're working on today, which is still outside in the pouring rain, I probably bought that nearly 17 years ago now, thinking about it, and this is the first set of brake shoes that it's ever going to have. But in the last video I went to go and adjust the brakes, and we found that two of the shoes, the friction material had delaminated off the brake shoe, which is a major no, and they need to be replaced. Fair enough, 17 years use, you can't argue with that, can you? So I have ordered genuine IFA Williams parts. Now there's a distributor down in the South Island called Atlas Trailers. I use them. They are brilliant. If you have an IFA Williams trailer and you need parts, speak to Susie, she'll get you sorted out. I've been down there a few times. They've got a massive warehouse full of parts. They carry a lot of stock. So, chances are they'll have what you need. They're not a sponsor, but they have seen me right on the price. Just a bit of a declaration. They always do me a good deal. Thank you very much, Susie. Really appreciate that. They're very accommodating. So, without further ado, before I bring the trailer in, let's take a quick look to see what I got in the kit, in the genuine kit, and then you can compare that to any aftermarket kits that are out there, and you can let me know. Do they all come with all the bits? Who knows? Here we go. Used.
You don't paint something without warning.
Honestly. Right, we'll chuck all the bits on the mat and then we'll take a look. Right, two of them and two of those. And what really surprised me is a bag of bits as well. Excellent. What's this? Ooh, that's good. We've got some information as well. We'll have a look at that. Perfect. Now, I believe all of the IFA Williams trailers, correct me if I'm wrong, use the Knott brakes. So Knott is the brand of brakes, very well known in the industry for trailers in the UK, and extremely high quality. Are they the right ones? I think they are. So each wheel basically gets one of these and one of these, and this already comes assembled. I wasn't too sure that they come with this additional plate here, but it does, which is great. So all that's fitted. It's got the dual springs on there and stuff, so I'm very, very happy with that. Saves a lot of time, swapping things across. Now these weren't cheap, don't get me wrong, they weren't cheap. It costs us about $200 an axle for new brake shoes. Yes, that's a lot of money. Automotive stuff is a lot cheaper, but for 17 years, you can't go wrong, can you? It's worth spending the money and getting the right stuff. There's no point in skimping on cost. Now, putting the shoes aside for 1 minute, we also get some hardware, new hardware to fit, which is really, really good. I thought this might be a separate part to order, but it wasn't included, which is nice. So we've got a couple of those sort of single unit spring clips, which I thought they were a great design. Makes it a lot easier fitting those. And we've got 4 new springs. It's going to be a pair of those, one of each, on each side as well. Now, destructions. Before we start the job, let's take a look to see what Knott has to say on how we do this job. Okay, now these are the instructions that come with the brake shoes. They're pretty much duplicated in the owner's manual of the trailer as well. If you've got that, if you haven't, you can download it from the internet, and I'll put you a link in the description. Now, I'm not going to read all this because that would be a very boring video, but it means that you can pause the video and read it for yourself if you see fit. So I'll just sort of scan our way down. There you go. Look, I'm sure Eiffel Williams won't mind me putting this on the video because it's very helpful and it keeps people safe. Okay. There you go, look. Pretty cool. And we'll just flick it over onto this side here, just in case there's anything in there that's interesting. Yes. Okay. So there's quite a few instructions going on. I'm going to cover all of this during the video anyway. And this is the adjustment section here. Now, I have done a video covering adjustment previously. That was the last video. So if you want to see how the adjustment of the brakes is done, watch that video, and I'll put you a link at the end of this video back to that one. It'll be interesting to see actually how the viewing times suddenly peak at that bit, because everybody pauses the video and spend ages reading that bit. So it'll be quite cool to see that happen. I'm sure it will do actually. It always happens on videos when I go on the internet and we're looking for something on the internet and we've got things to read on the screen, then the viewership goes massively high at that point in the video, which is great. All helps. Okay, it's still raining. Notice just how quiet it is in the workshop for filming. We put a new roof, a second roof above the original roof in the workshop, and it's made a massive difference to the audio. How good is that? You know, it's bloody brilliant, and it doesn't leak in here anymore, which is a bonus, right? So I've got to go outside now and get wet. You will see the shirts change. It will become dark blue, and of course the ponytail will look very straggly and horrible, but that's just nature of being a mechanic, isn't it, unfortunately? So I've got to dig the trailer out, get it in the workshop, get it jacked up, get the wheels taken off, and then we'll choose a hub, we'll remove the hub, and then we'll set to and fit a set of brake shoes. Now, this video isn't going to cover the adjustment. That's in the other video. I want to keep this one nice and short. All I'm going to do in this video is show you how to fit a set of brake shoes to the backing plate correctly with all the springs in the right place, and then put the hub back on, lock nuts, the hub nut on 350 Newton meters, how to stake it, which is also in the last video, but we'll cover it anyway because it's all part of this job, and then I'll say goodbye. I do also have new brake cables. Hang on, I'll get them for you. Hey! Oh no, a nut fell off. Right, we have an adjustment nut or a lock nut. So what we have here, just for your reference, so I will be fitting one of these at the same time if you have to replace your brake cables. We've got a full set of 4 brake cables, 2 short ones for the front axle, 2 long ones for the rear axle. So I'll pop these to one side for now. Hopefully we've got all the other nuts. Yes, I can see the one that's missing its nut. I'll stick that back on there, and then we'll be all good. All good in the world again. There we go, look. Don't lose that one, Andy, you need that. Now again, the cables have never been changed. 17 years for a set of cables is pretty good. The one thing I did notice on my trailer is the cables, they run over the top of the front axle, and they just sort of hang there, and they do make contact with the front axle, and what it's done is it's worn off. You'll see it on the previous video. It's worn off a lot of the sheathing. Water's got into the cable, caused corrosion, and of course the cable then becomes stiff to operate. They do still work at the moment, but they're not ideal, so I thought this is a perfect opportunity to replace the cables at the same time. They're not expensive. You may also want to consider that. If you're doing your brakes, why not do the cables at the same time? You know, it's going to cost you probably another £150 for a set of 4 cables. Not that bad. Okay, I'm going to sign off for now. Holly, yeah, right, this is over to you. Message from Tool Girl Holly, and then I'll be back in the workshop. See you shortly.
Hey! While Andy's doing that, check out my Instagram page, Tool Girl Holly.
Thanks, Holly. Appreciate that. Now, I'm back, as you guessed. Trailer is in the workshop. You can't see it, can you? So you want to see the trailer coming down. Dum 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 dum. There, look. Taking all the wheels off. It's good to go. We've now got to choose a hub. Now I think what we'll do is we'll do the right hand rear. That's where we started in the last video. But before we do that, I need to undo all the brake cables at the balancer bar at the front of the trailer. So I've got to clamber under a dripping trailer and slacken all those off and get the outers unbolted from the frame. And then when we pull the backing plate off, which is what I'm going to do because I'm going to fit the brake shoes on the bench and then refit the backing plate, much easier job. You're not crouching under a trailer all the time, and you can do a far better job. Because I want to service the adjusters. There's one or two adjusters that I've not yet serviced, and also hooking the new cable in is a lot easier on the bench, believe me. And it's only 4 more bolts, so it's not too bad, is it? Okay, under the trailer. Yeah, don't lie in that, Andy. Okay, so this is the balance bar, and these are what I call the sub-balancers. So basically the idea behind this contraption is to equalise the pull on all 4 cables to allow for any kind of discrepancy in the adjustment. And it works really well. So first job is I need to undo all of these cables. And they may say, Andy, we're here to fit brake pads. Well, you can fast forward to the brake pad there, that's fine. The handbrake is off. These are a real pain to get onto, actually. Especially now it's adjusted up properly. Not ideal. I wonder if we can just turn that. We can't. Now, what I could do is use mole grips on the actual end piece of the cable. Probably. Oh, it did work. Not ideal though. I don't recommend it. But getting to that nut there, the main nut, it's a bit of a pain. So I'm going to do one on camera, and I'll do the rest off camera, I think. Luckily, this one. There you go. You see, you can sort of lever it a bit and get a bit of free on it. Now, we didn't get new ones of these, I don't think, with the cables, so I don't want to lose these. And they are a special nut. They're domed at the back, a bit like a wheel nut, but they're not a wheel nut. I'll undo these now, and then we can cut the video, can't we? Okay, so 19mm socket. It might turn. It is turning, so we use the mole grips on the back, because it's only round is the section. There's no place for a spanner, I don't think, on there. There we go. We'll just crack that off. Spin that nut out of the way. That's the one that fell on the floor earlier on, actually, on the new cable. Right, that nut's off. Undo the mole grips, and then we can pull the cable through. See? Done. Okay, one more to go. And then we get onto the easier stuff. Or should I say less awkward? This isn't difficult, it's just a bit awkward. Right. Jeez, that one was tight. Wow. Hang on a minute. Where's my other spanner? Let's see if we can double up. Right, it's going to hit the ground. We'll stick him up there. Stick him round there. Oh! Yes. Only skinned 3 of my knuckles. Better than skinning 4. Wow, it's setting to rain all day long. This is quite a good job to get done today, actually, now that we're in the garage. There we go. Ta-da! All done. Right, back to comfort. Oh, what the hell? Seriously? Right, so now we can whip the hub off. So that's how you detach the cables if you need to, if you're going to be replacing them, or want to put the backing plate off, take it off the trailer and bring it up onto the bench to fit the new shoes, which it's a pretty good idea, to be honest. It's not hard to do rather than scrabbling around on a trailer, but it all depends on the time that you've got available. But it might actually not take any longer. I find it really quick. Anyway, let's go and remove that right hand rear hub. I'll show you how to remove the backing plate from the axle. We'll get it up on the bench and take a look. Okie dokie. Right, this is driver's side, driver's right hand rear, and this is what we call a stake nut. This is the stub axle in the middle, and you can see in the stub axle it's got two grooves, one either side, and once you tighten up the nut you have to stake the nut by basically deforming this outer rim into the grooves, and the idea is that's a locking mechanism to stop that nut coming loose. And this is the one that needs to be torqued to 350 newton meters. That's the maximum of my biggest torque wrench. Now if you haven't got a power bar or a big torque wrench to undo it, which, well, you shouldn't be using a torque wrench to undo it anyway, but if you haven't got a big power bar, you should really bend these back out. However, my impact will overcome these and still undo the nut, which is really useful. Come on, Makita, don't let me down. Oh, wear eye protection for this, very important. And no, it's not an impact socket. It's the only one that fits. This one is a 46mm. Okay, here we go. Ready? Bugger! Are we on full power? No, we're not. Oh, Christ. Okay, here we go. All right. Makita, you've let me down. Bugger. Big power bar coming up. Now before we do that, let's just relieve those bent stakes a little bit, make our life a little bit easier. Now I bought new nuts to go on here, which you should do really. I think they're about $12 each, so probably about £5. Oh, that made that one worse, didn't it? Don't want to damage the stub axle, but I do need to get there. Oh, what the hell, we'll try that. We're just making it worse. Right. It's on. I'm going to use my body weight, I think. We'll just put it down to there. And I'll stand on it and we'll see what happens. Ready? Here we go. God damn. Whoa! Did it move? Didn't move at all. God damn it. Okay, we're going again. Full power, check. Yeah, we're on full power. I was just thinking then, this nut has been off already. It was off a couple of weeks ago, when we had the drum off and we did the adjustment. I'm pretty sure. Yes, it was, because we inspected the shoes. What the hell? Well, it's coming out now. Sometimes things don't always go to plan, do they? I blame the rain. Oh yeah, let's got that bit out. There we go. Okay. Yes. That is definitely off. Alright, let's try the impact again. Nothing to lose there. Whoa! Holy crap! That's not good. Alright. I'm going to put the trolley jag underneath the axle to stop it from bowing down on the spring. I might get a bit more effort with the power bar. We're trying everything here rather than heat. Don't want to use any heat. Okay, standing on. Come on, pies, don't let me down. What the hell? How tight is it? That's redunculous. Wow. Holy crap, look at the state of the nut. Right, one more go. Needs a longer bat. I'm just going to try doing it up for a fraction, just to try and loosen it off. Holy moly. What the hell? That's going to be destroying my socket. Okay, I'm going in again. Nothing. Why are you so tight? You weren't this tight last week. Alright, I'm getting fed up with this now. I'm sure you would do as well. Here we go, power bar to the rescue. Come on, power bar. Jesus. Oh. No. No. I'm going to try and get a chisel onto the flank of the nut and give it a few taps to see if that's going to work with a big hammer. I don't know. This is not good. See what I'm doing there, look? Mashing the shit out of it. Is it moving? Oh, maybe a fraction. This would be a perfect job for Jim Haynes' air hammer. And we have that here. Jeez, let's give that a go. Let me get set up. Right, said Fred, we have, as Erico would say, big nasty. Let's see how this is going to work. Probably just going to destroy the whole thing. Anyway, we'll see how we get on. Has it moved? Oh my word, I don't know. Way! Oh, it's just cutting it into pieces. Let's try from this side. Don't want to damage the hub or the stub axle. Jeez. When do you give up and go to the pub? There he goes. Holy crap. Look at the carnage!
How the hell are you going to fix that now, Andy?
I've got no choice, I've just got to keep going until it finally loosens off. Hold my beer. I'm going to try this bit that Jim sent. It's meant for cutting rivets. I don't know. It'll be sharp, that's for sure. Thanks, Jim. Oh, I see. It's like a offset chisel look. Cool. Right, let's get that slapped in. Because this one is pretty junk now, look at that. Good for pushing things around, but not so good for cutting stuff. So we've worn that one out. Okay, there we go. Now with this one it can rotate all the way around. It hasn't got the location of the 4 ball bearings in the grooves like on that one. So I've got to keep my wits about me. Whoa! Do I carry on with that one and then like delay the video being finished? Could take weeks at this rate. Or do we go to a different hub and whip that off and then show you how to fit the brake pads, brake shoes? I mean, it's got to be taken off at some point. But you don't watch me battling on for hours to remove a single nut, do you? You know, that's not entertainment. It's not even informative. It's just a shit job, right? Alright, I'll turn the camera back on once I've got that nut off. Somehow. and then we'll carry on. Well, looking at my little two telltale marks here, look, we've started to get some movement. Tell you what, it's a hell of a piece of kit. But I tell you what, that's one hell of a stock nut. This might take another minute, it might take another hour, I don't know. To be fair, neither do you at this point in time. Okay, we haven't got a lot to get onto. I've been chunking away at this side for a bit. Way! Way! Easy target. We have movement. Dang God. We're about flush now with the end of the stub axle, which is good. With every turn we're getting away from the threads that I'm so conscious about not damaging. Let's try a bit of black magic, that's always good for getting bolts off. I'm going to swap this for the one that I can control rotation wise. The first one we used, it's got those 4 grooves in it. There we go, got more control over that one. Oh, the drum's loose on the shaft now, which is good. Right, reposition. Do another half-ish. Unbelievable. Coming. It's gotta come on. Whoa! Oh, man. Unbelievable. It's fighting me all the way to the end, isn't it? Jeez. Oh, come on. Oh, God damn it. Right, let's get the drum out of the way and check the condition of that stub axle. Oh man, have I destroyed it? Maybe. Okay, that side looks pretty okay, to be fair. Come around here, it's had a bit of a chomp, hasn't it? But I think we might be alright. Let's go and get a new nut. I'll wire brush these threads first. We'll get a new nut and see if it spins on freely. I hope so. Okay, wire brush. Not too concerned about damage at this end, but if there was damage further back, I'd be pretty upset. I think the stub axle is part of the axle. You can't replace the stub axle on its own. I don't think. Never had to do one. Okay, a bit of spray. Don't worry, putting new brake shoes in. New nut. Well, it starts. That's the good thing. So I might just have to dress the threads a bit around that side. Okay, not the end of the world, I don't think. And the drums survived. It's just a few sort of surface impacts on there. It's not the end of the world. So the next job, to remove the backing plate, we've got 4 cap head bolts down here. I think there are 10mm from memory. So I'll get those undone easily, he says. And then we're going to remove the backing plate with the brake cable and work on it on the bench once I've recovered, because that was a mission. Okay, here goes. It'll be a lot easier to tidy that up as well with the backing plate out of the way. Alright, that's one. It's cracked off. They do have thread lock on them, so I'm not expecting a nice loud crack. Okay, that's good. That's cracked off. Yeah. Okay, that one done. One more. And make sure that your socket's all the way into the head of these bolts, because they can be pretty tight. If you round one off, oh, good luck getting that out of there. Right, let's see if my impact wrench is good for this one. It better be. Yes, look at that. Easy peasy. Good job. We'll be putting thread lock back on those again later on. Cool. Right, last one out. Whoa, come back. There's always one, isn't there? Where's he gone? There he is. Oh, will we get him later? Probably. We'll get that one out later. Okay, this should now come off, and we can pull it right through with the cable. Bolt. There we go. Okay, to the bench. Chum! That was a mission and a half. So that's what the nut looked like when it finally gave up. There was still quite a bit of meat at the back, but you see there's no threads right at the back, so that wasn't gripping the shaft at all. It's just basically a big washer that's part of the nut. It's called a flange nut. Now I was looking at the nut to see how close I'd got to the threads, and on this side here, just in there, look, You can see how thin it is, the side of the wall here that I've been beating with the chisel. So there's a chance that I have caused some harm to the threads on the stub axle, but they don't look too bad. Pretty sure I can clean them up, to be fair. That's, by the way, what the nut should look like. Yes, and that's what I did to it. Well, it did that to itself. If it had come off easily, we wouldn't have had that problem, would we not? No. That'll go somewhere in the workshop to look at and remember on that day that Andy started to lose his shit. Okay, the drum is out, it's in the bench mounted. Let's go and take a look, check out the configuration of those shoes, get the old shoes out. I'll run through what needs to be cleaned up and then we'll fit the new shoes. Here we go. First thing to check before you do this job is to make sure that your supplier has sent you the right size shoes. And unfortunately they haven't. These are too large. So that's the end of that video. God damn it. I need this trailer next week. Woohoo! Hang on a minute. I've looked in the other box and these ones are right. These are the correct shoes and we've got a box, the first box that I showed you, of incorrect shoes. Well, they got it half right, didn't they? Okay, so the part number that we need, just for the record, is on there, look. Ooh, little thing. P000320D for dog. Brake shoes, 200 by 50 AR axle set. That's what we need another set of those of. Okay, I just need to take stock because we only have now for this weekend one axle set of brake shoes. I need this trailer to be, usable for Monday. There's no possibility of getting any more shoes before I leave. They take about a week to be delivered. So, assuming that they're the right ones, the plan of attack is to only replace the shoes that have lifted on the friction material, just to get the trailer up and running, so to speak. Now, ironically, the drum that we just took off, the shoes are fine. So I now have to refit that drum, that backing plate with those existing shoes back onto the trailer, refit the drum using a new stake nut. I'll have to get some more of these now, and then try and work out which, from my previous video, which two, oh cool, okay, which two brake drums, shoes, have delaminated. I'm pretty sure it's the left rear, but I don't know which one the other one is. So in the interests of trying to avoid nuts not coming off and the use of new stake nuts, bearing in mind I've only got 3 new ones left, I have to get this right, because I'm going to use one new one for that one and I'll need the last 2 to go on the drums that I need to remove to replace the shoes. Man, this job has gone from bad to worse. So it's a few hours later, same day. I did, in the end, when I rebuilt that driver's side rear, the first drum backing plate we took off, had on the bench, the one that had the nut, right, remember that? Can't forget that one. In the end, I did put new brake shoes into it. I wasn't really in the fit state for filming, to be honest. I was mentally not a happy chap. Partly because we got sent half the wrong parts, and secondly, well, things have got a whole lot worse. Today's video is going to be, this is how you fit new brake shoes to your iFully Williams trailer. It hasn't. This video really is how it can all go wrong, and this is a regular occurrence in workshops. This isn't a one-off. Doesn't often happen to me, though, to be fair. I'm normally pretty organised. So there is more of a story behind this nut. I took some photos of the threads close up on the stub axle. And as you can see from the photos right now, those threads are completely knackered. It wasn't a case of cleaning them up with a thread file. It wasn't damage that I did trying to get the nut off. Those threads have already galled. They must have galled when I put the nut back on last time round. Now, the next problem is that the stub axle is part of the axle. It's not a bolt-on item, it's welded into place. So I don't know if IFA Williams do a kit to replace that stub axle and you can cut it off and weld a new one on. Do they trust people to do that? Maybe not. If not, I'm going to have to buy a new axle for the trailer. More money. I mean, this has all come at once. New tyres, new brakes, and now an axle. Really? It's ridiculous. But anyway, so what I've done is I've fitted the new brake shoes that we've got, the one set that we knew was correct, to the rear axle. Now you might think, Andy, why on earth do you do that when you've got to replace the rear axle? Well, at that point in time, I didn't know that the threads were knackered on the stub axle. So like I said, it's gone from bad to worse. And then the front axle is now running all used brake shoes. So one set of brake shoes came off that right hand rear. They were still okay, and they replaced the set that weren't okay on the front axle. And I've fitted all the new cables, so they're done. They're on the trailer. One of them was really bad, actually. It was quite seized up and very rusty. So the two shoes which had delaminated, we call that. So here is one of them, just to give you a close-up. That's not good, is it? We pull it all the way off. It did break. Okay, so this side here is reasonably well bonded. This side isn't. It's got all rusty and it's killed the bonding. You can see there, look. So that one is, I won't say it's going to go in the bin because it's got springs on it. It's got this floaty bit here for the reversing release of the brakes. That's what it's for, that bit. We'll look at that in more detail in another video, I'm sure. Not today. Okay, this one, when I took the drum off, this was the front axle right-hand side. So the one forward of the troublesome nut. And this piece was just sat in the drum. It just fell out when I pulled the drum off. And you can see there, look, it's complete. All the bonding has gone all the way down here. And there was just a little bit left. That's all that was holding it on. So again, good call. Job done. Got it off the trailer. That's the important thing. Now, I know what you're thinking, Andy, your trailer's still not usable. Well, I put a new stake nut onto that troublesome stub axle, right hand rear, and it did go on. It wasn't ideal. The threads did catch and it went on not too bad. It wasn't real tight on the threads. It wasn't galling up. My main concern was that there wasn't enough thread depth left to actually hold the nut in place. I thought it was going to basically get, as I was torquing it up, it would just jump on the threads and back to square one, and it would never achieve torque, and the nut would never actually be tight on the shaft. It would just pop back, on the threads and just be completely useless. Well, it has held. It is in place. It has got 350 Newton meters. Am I happy with it? Absolutely not. I aren't. The saving grace of that trailer is it's a twin axle trailer. If it was a single axle trailer, I won't be taking it anywhere. Not in that condition. But if one wheel comes off, no, it's bad. It's really bad. I don't think it will. I think I'll be okay. I'll find out on Monday, 2 days' time. And I'll keep checking it as well. But if worst case scenario, because what I'm carrying is pretty light, I can just take both wheels off the rear axle, strap it up, and run it as a single axle. Done that before, can do it again. It's not pretty. Mr. Policeman often gets very upset, and you just say, hey, that's actually not part of the trailer. That's my spare axle that I carry with me in case the main axle fails, officer. Some take it, some don't. So I don't know what this video is going to be. Take it as it is. I mean, have we done much? Have you seen much? Don't know. Maybe not. Certainly not what I had planned. But it is a video that shows just how badly things can go wrong. Now, all I have left to do now is fit those cables back into the chassis at the front where you saw me take them out. and then fit them to the balance bar and the little sub bars, and then basically adjust the brakes up as per the previous video. So I'm not going to bore you with all of that, and in all honesty, the day's getting late, it's getting dark now. I need to get this trailer out and parked up, so at least it's usable for Monday. So yeah, an odd video for me. I feel like we haven't done a lot, but anyway, maybe you found it interesting, maybe you didn't. I'm sure you will have started jobs in the past, and you'll have been relying on people sending you the right parts. And yes, I could have opened the boxes and checked in advance, but I wanted to open the boxes with you in the video, and not just stage it. It's all real. That's why we've got this problem today. Yes, I'll be speaking to Susie on Monday, and hey, shit happens. People make mistakes. It's not her. I'm not going to bite her head off. I'm just a little bit, really? I make mistakes. We all do. So, in the next video, when the next set of brake shoes turn up, and we have the front axle to do, and I'll have some news on the cost of the replacement rear axle, or if they do a stub kit that I can weld on, I'll update you on that. And in that video, yes, we will fit some new brake shoes, provided they send the right ones this time. Okay, crew, if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, why not click on subscribe? Oh, itchy nose, all the brake dust. You can ring the bell. That turns on notifications, and YouTube will send you a notification or an email, whatever it is, as and when I upload any new videos. You'll also find me on Facebook, and you can email me, andymechanic@live.co.uk. If you'd like to support the channel, and a few have over the years, and I'm very, very grateful that they have. It makes the pain of making videos fun, or the financial pain of making the videos, a little bit less. It allows us to buy a bit of gear for the workshop, and thanks to Teng. I mean, Teng provide a lot of gear for this little workshop. They've done well over the years. It's been great, actually. Thank you, Brandon. So if you want to support the channel, you can do that through Patreon. You can become a patron. Or if you want to send hard cash, you can do that through PayPal. Now, with PayPal, just use the email address andymechanic@live.co.uk. But please don't send it as a donation. To receive donations, I have to be a registered charity. I'm not a registered charity. I'll never be a registered charity, and I don't want to be a registered charity. There are far more, what's the word? Applicable, it's just, it's a YouTube channel. It's not a charity. So don't click donation. Just send it as a payment, please, to andymechanic@live.co.uk. Okay, crew, I'm rambling on. I'm sorry this video wasn't quite what it's supposed to be, but hey, hopefully the next one will be. See you next time. Cheers. Over and out. And we get the pick up again.
Oh!
Really.